All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I just wanted to do a quick video. Well, actually, man, let me just read the scripture real quick. 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. All right. Salaki there. I lost my train of thought for a second. I'm outside sitting. But anyways, pretty much exactly like that scripture I just read, 2 Corinthians 12 and 9 was the, that was pretty much the spiritual ammo for this video. That was what inspired this video, was that specifically the part in red letter where it said, what, my grace is sufficient for thee. Yahweh Shai saying it, it's in red letter. This was and I'm going to read the context. But yeah, my grace is sufficient for thee. That's what I was thinking about in this video. Because I was just thinking, man, us in this ministry, whether you be a man or a woman, because we know the hopeful elect consists of men, women, and children. So whatever you are, man, a woman, we all go through our infirmities. We're all catching, our different types of hell. And as you see, the title of the video is going to be something along the lines of, hey man, it just is what it is. Sometimes it just is what it is. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to read verse 7 through 10. But, before I started speaking, I wanted to get a precept, have the scriptures come out first. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sometimes it just is what it is. Meaning sometimes, you'll pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and you won't get the answer that you think you're going to get. Sometimes you pray to the Lord expecting a yes, and then he'll give you a no, meaning what? Some things, it just is what it is, man. Some things we got to bear. Some things it's just your lot to endure. Some things it's just what you got to go through for a season, only for a temporary amount of time, not forever. But that's just, that's just a balanced perspective I wanted to show through these scriptures, man. Certain hell that we catch, certain infirmities and certain things in your life that you got to deal with. Some things, it just is what it is, meaning some things you're just going to have to deal with for a little bit longer. Certain burdens and afflictions, the Lord, it's your lot to go through, meaning it's your destiny to have to endure it, just like Apostle Paul had to go through certain stuff. So I'm going to read 2 Corinthians 12 and 7. The title of it says, A Thorn in the Flesh. It says, and this is Apostle Paul, right? It says, unless I should be exalted above measure, through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above the measure, right? So it said there was given to him a thorn in the flesh, and if you know, a thorn is a piece of wood, a sharp, like I said, a sharp stake, sharp piece of wood. So it said a thorn in the flesh. So pretty much he was burdened by something in the flesh, man. We don't know the exact term or exactly what it specifically was, but he had a physical infirmity that he was dealing with, man. Right? Because that thorn is a sharp pain feeling in the flesh. All right. His flesh, his body. So obviously he had a physical infirmity, that he was dealing with. And that's why I said that there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me. And let's look at that word buffet. It says to strike with the fists, give one blow with the fists. You see? And what does that remind you of? It reminds you of Job, when the Lord allowed Satan to do all the stuff that he did to Job. And a part of what Job went through was physical infirmities that Satan put on him. I believe he had, what was it, boils in the skin, you know? But that goes to show you that, what, it was Satan. You know, Satan was fucking with Job, giving him different infirmities, just like Apostle Paul was getting messed with, you know, by his spiritual left-hand side, giving him these different infirmities and afflictions on his body. It said, lest I should be exalted above measure. And right, so that's, yeah, so this was pretty much what I was thinking, man. It's like, hey, these different infirmities and these different stuff that we have to go through in this life, you know, every hell that we catch, everything that we go through, we may not know the depths of the reasoning of why the Lord did it. You know, we may not know every single detail of why he did it, you know, but ultimately there are a couple things that we do know is that, one, just like Apostle Paul here said, he said, what? Lest I should be exalted above measure, meaning a part of the reason why the Lord allowed this to happen to Apostle Paul is to keep him humble. That's why he said, lest I should be exalted above measure, man. Exalted above measure, meaning to get prideful. All right, because it said what? Through the abundance of the revelations. Lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of revelation. So Apostle Paul was, you know, the Lord was dealing with him heavy, you know, and he had a lot of different things revealed to him. So, you know, he had a lot of wisdom. So, you know, a part of the balance was what? He had so much wisdom that the Lord had to give him that thorn in the flesh to keep him humble, right? Because that's balance. Obviously, the Lord knew that we're in this flesh, man. We're constantly battling the carnal mind day in and day out. Okay, so it's balanced to where if the Lord gives you a lot of wisdom and knowledge and understanding, of course he's going to balance that out with giving you hell, all right, giving you trials and tribulations, giving you a thorn in the flesh, unless all that wisdom and knowledge will go to your head, and then you'll start getting prideful. So a part of the reason why Apostle Paul had that thorn in the flesh was to keep him humble, all right, to keep him in a meek spirit. And we can relate that to our life as well. You know, I personally was born with just a small infirmity, man. If the brothers know about anything called eczema, I was personally born with, you know, eczema, inherited it from my family. But, you know, hey, it's throughout my life, it's affected me greatly, man. It's affected me tremendously, man. And when I was in the world, you know, I would question like, damn, you know, what did I do to deserve this? You know, why do I gotta go through it? And, you know, when you get into the truth, you understand that, for one, we deserve whatever we have coming to us, man. You know, we deserve whatever the Lord is putting on us because we've sinned in our past life and in this life. And for two, it's humbling. It's humbling. It keeps you in your place to understand that, you know, we are but just men. Or if you're a woman, you're just a woman, you know? Meaning, hey, we're in the sight of the Most High, you know, the Most High called Jacob what? A worm. Because we're just men. So whatever we got coming to us, we deserve it, man. All right? And it keeps us humble. So let me keep reading in verse 8. You know, it says, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And that word besought pretty much means to beg. So what does it mean he besought the Lord thrice? Meaning he prayed to the Lord 3 times. He prayed he prayed and begged the Lord 3 times that the Lord take that infirmity away from him. And then this is what the Lord said in verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. And that's what inspired this video, man. It's specifically where it says, My grace is sufficient for thee. You know, and that's what resonated with me heavy, man. You know, the Lord, his grace is enough for us, man. His mercy that he's already shown us in ways that we don't even comprehend yet is already more than enough for us, man. Is already way more. The mercy that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has showed us in ways that we don't even know, or we can't even perceive in the different ways he showed us mercy. That's already more than enough, man. And that's the answer that he gave to Apostle Paul. But through the Spirit, this is the answer for all of us, man. If we're all going through, you know, different shit that we got to go through, really everybody on this planet, I don't care how rich you are, everybody on the planet is all going through shit, man. There ain't no single person out there that's immune to sickness or illness or hell. So we all going through shit, man. We all going through physical infirmities, man. And really, you know, whatever you're going through, hey, there are levels to going through physical infirmities, man. There are definitely levels, man. A lot of the times, you know, shit may really hurt in the moment, but when you just sit back and think about what other men are going through, yours is really light compared to what they're going through. And I say that to myself, because there have been moments, you know, where hey, my shit got very, very bad, man. And then you start getting in that woe is me spirit. But you understand that other men are going through shit way worse, man. Bedridden, disabled, paralyzed, blind, you know, not functioning, body parts not functioning normally. But even then, that, hey, the Lord's grace is sufficient for them, man. So that's what led to the title of this video, man. Sometimes it is what it is. You know, I'll probably title it that. You know, meaning, hey, certain things you just got to bear until we're delivered from this hell. All right. This is the this is verse 9 in the NLT. It says, each time he said, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now I am glad to boast about my weaknesses so that the power for Mashiach can work through me. And that's also the balance, man. Because, yeah, all right, yeah, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, you know, some shit the Lord just put on you, you know, that you got to bear to make you stronger and more faithful to him. But at the same time, you know, you glory in that. You know, you always got to keep in mind that the Lord's not just going to do something to just tear you down. Like a father, he does everything for our benefit, man. So that's why I said, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. They said what? The Lord's power works best in weakness, man. Because when you are what? When you're brought low, when you're brought very low, that's when you cleave to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai the strongest. You know, that's when you realize that you ain't shit without Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know, that's when you put your ego to the side, you put your pride to the side, and you realize that you're a servant to the Lord. You're a slave to the Lord. You know, that's when your fear of the Lord increases. That's when your faith increases, man. Because he will deliver us from all of our infirmities, man. Whether it takes a miracle, right? Because miracles are about to start happening soon. So whether it takes a miracle, all right, whether all you got to do is pray and get them herbs in you, or whether you got to endure something all the way until you get them new bodies on the chariot. Either way, he will deliver us from it, man. But right now, while you got to bear it, it's for a purpose, man. It's building something up within you, man. And what it's building up within you is your faith in the Lord. That's why I said my power works best in weakness, man. The Lord's power works best. That's why he uses the weak. He doesn't use the strong, man. He uses the weak. The weak in physical might, but great and rich in faith. You know, the Lord will show you how he can use one man to overthrow a whole army, man. That's how the Lord's power works. You know, why would he use somebody that's already super strong or already has it all? Then when the Lord uses that person, that person's not going to give the glory to the Lord, right? Because they already had strength and shit like that. Man, the Lord uses the weak, man. So it says what? So now I am glad to boast about my weaknesses so that the power of Hamashiach can work through me. And that's the spirit we ought to be in, man. Boast in your weaknesses, meaning you give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that he seen you, that, you know, you were deemed fit, you know, to suffer righteously. You know, you were deemed fit to be born with that infirmity, to suffer what you got to go through, because that's a glory unto you, man. The more you endure that, and the more you stay strong and stay faithful to the Lord, that's a glory, man. You know, you're building up your treasures in heaven, man, when you endure and stay strong, stay faithful to the Lord through these different infirmities. Hold on, you know, don't give up the will to fight or to off yourself. You know, that's really a glory, man, because you're suffering for the Lord. You know, you're showing the Lord that you know, you're faithful until the end. Right? Verse 10 says, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distress for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. All right? I become well, yeah, that's the point. In distress for Hamashiach's sake, for when I am weak, I am strong. Right, because when we're at our weakest, when we're at our lowest, that's when the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to shine the brightest in us, man, because we're going to cleave unto him the most. So it's all purposeful. If the Lord puts us through infirmities, reproaches, necessities, persecutions, distress, this is all purposeful, man. Because when we go through that hell, that's gonna build us up, man. That's gonna increase our faith. That's gonna show the Lord, you know, that we're down with him. And ultimately, that's hey, like I said, and this was just on my spirit. Certain things you just gotta bear. Certain things you just gotta bear, and certain things, when you pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, like Apostle Paul, he prayed the Lord 3 times to take it away. Now I'm sure he wanted it to be taken away. I'm sure that's the answer that he wanted, was for the Lord to say, you know what, you know, stop, Satan, take that off of him. I'm sure that's what he wanted, but that's not the answer that he got. All right. So sometimes you're not going to get the answer that you want, but it's the answer that you need. All right. Let me get 2 Timothy 2:3. It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Hamashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. So we're a soldier, man, and soldiers at war get injured and they get shot, they get stabbed, but they gotta patch the wound up, endure the pain, and keep fighting until the victory is won. So that's likened unto us right now. Whatever infirmities brothers may be going through, mental battles, fucking hell in your life, car bills, all this stuff coming up. Hey, these are all a part of the, you know, the battle that we signed up for in this truth, man. And this truth, this walk of life wasn't meant to be perfect carnally, man, but through the spirit, you know, this is building up a great, you know what I'm saying, a great history for us, man. A history of overcoming, you know, through our faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All right. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rakakwadash, Shalom.